Hey guys, welcome back to my garage. Today we're going to be installing some Custom Dynamics low profile saddlebag lights on my 24 Road Glide. These lights have amber turn signals and red run and brake lights. So let's check it out. Okay, so the lenses are smoked, and like I said, the turn signals will be amber and the brake lights and run lights will be red. And they also have sequential or just regular programming. So I'll show you how that works too when we get started. I think there's a little magnet in the package that we can change that setup. But along with those lights, I also got the magic strobe because I would like to have those lights flashing to get more attention. Now I gotta say, I was a little surprised to see that these are made in Vietnam. I would have thought they were made in the United States. I know that Custom Dynamics is based here on I believe in North Carolina somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not knocking them any. I'm just, like I said, I was a little bit surprised to see that those say they're made in Vietnam. Anyway, if you've not done any installs like this before, it's a very simple process. You basically stick those lights to the back of your saddlebags, you run the wires across, and then you connect this harness for the magic strobe under your seat, and then you connect this to the magic strobe because you want this to be in front of the lights. It needs to connect to the bike first, and then the lights need to connect to this. So very simple. So we're going to get to taking the bags off, and then we'll go through the process of the install. Okay, so I got the bags off here, and I'm going to clean this area right here because this is where the light is going to stick, and it's very dirty. So I'm gonna clean it first, then I'm going to wipe it with some alcohol, and then I'm also going to clean the inside surface here because when we put the wire on, we're going to use little wire clips and zip tie clips and put them on there, and those also have adhesive backing. So we'll do that on both sides, make sure both bags are clean where we're going to put the adhesives, and then we'll go from there. Okay, before I start, I'm pulling this main fuse here. It's right here under the side panel, and anytime I connect any lighting or anything like that to the electrical system, I always pull this fuse so there isn't any shorting or anything that could happen while we're doing the connectivity or the connections, and just to be safe. And then when we're done, we'll put this back in. The next thing I want to do is disconnect this main wiring harness right here. And you do that by just pulling this apart. Squeeze that little section there and pull this apart like that. And you have this wiring harness right here that you're going to plug in the magic strobe to. So grab the magic strobe. You can see there's two ends here. Obviously there's only one end that can go in there, so we're going to plug this one in here. Okay, there we go. Had to put the camera on the stand, tripod, so I can actually get in here and do this without making a big mess. Okay, so this is the end that's going to connect to the bike. Connect it right here. Push it in until you hear it snap. And there it's in. And then this end is where you're going to connect the taillights to. There's a harness that comes with the taillights. We're going to connect it here and then back to the bike on this one. And we'll tie up all these wires when we get to that point. Alright, so the harness that comes with the saddlebag lights themselves has two modules, one for left and one for right. So the one for the right side has the brown wire, which you can see right here, and the one for the left side has the purple wire. So when you plug it in, you'll kind of want to orient those so they can be pointing left and right the best you can, just so it'll give you a little bit more room. What comes in the package with the saddlebag lights, obviously you get this harness I just showed you, but you get each light. This is the right side, has a connector on here with the brown wire like I said, and then you get this extension here that you'll connect to the end of this wire, but this piece will go from the harness under the seat down through the frame and out the side. So when you want to take the bag off, you just disconnect these two connectors and you can take the bag off to do whatever. So you want to take this wiring harness that you got from the saddlebag lights and you want to connect it to the harness that's going to the bike. Push it in until you hear it snap. And then the other end of this will go right here. you will have to find a way to put all this under. And my little my rider backrest here is going to give me a little bit of problem for you know, not having much room. I'll worry about that later, but go ahead and get this plugged in right here. So now we got the harnesses plugged in. That's right, and this is left. Okay, so we get the two modules kind of placed where I want them, and then we'll worry about, once I get my pattern set the way I want this strobe to work, I'll worry about getting all these wires put in. But just for now, just go ahead and do the install. Now again, before you stick these on, you got to make sure you got the right side. Brown wire goes on the right. And before you peel off the tape on the back of the light, you just want to do a quick test fit, because this light, or this bag lid, is not exactly straight, and you don't want to put it all the way up against there because it's going to interfere with the operation of the lid. So you just want to kind of look at it and see how it's going to fit on there. And once you get it because once you put it on, it's stuck. You really don't have much other opportunity to fix that. So once you get it sighted in where you want it, just got to get this tape off, which is part of the battle. Other side, same deal. Get all the protective plastic off the light. Using your straight edge of some sort, peel off the red tape. Okay, got them started, so I'm going to peel off the red tape. And again, I cleaned these bags with alcohol beforehand to make sure that they were completely clean. I'm going to sight this one in just like I did the other one, trying to follow the contour of the lid. Keep it down about 1/8 of an inch, and then press and hold. I really like the way these things are so low profile. You can't really see them. I mean, you can see them, but they're very, very hard to see. There's that. Press that one on. And now we'll get to placing the included zip tabs on the inside of the bag to hold the wire. Now, I've learned from other projects in the past that I never get enough of those little clips, or those little zip tabs that they give you, those zip tie tabs. So I just bought a bag of them off Amazon, and some zip ties, because I like to use more than what they have. You know, I want it to be nice and tight against the bag, so I bought some, and I'm going to put more on there than what they say to use. All right, so I'll use theirs first. And like I said, I did clean the inside of this bag all the way across. And here's the magnet I told you about, where you'll use that to program the light sequence that you want, whether you want sequential or non-sequential. Go ahead and peel these off. First one right here, in the middle of all of these. All right, so you can see I put one here, and one here. And I thought I might put one up here, but I think I'm going to wait and see how that looks, because I want to be able to take this off when I connect it to the extension that goes to the bike. When I connect it to this, because I do take the bags off from time to time, so I want to be able to make sure that this has enough room to come off when I need it to. So I think I'll leave that off for now, and I may not even need my extra ones. I thought I was going to need some extra ones. I thought I might put one here, but I'm not sure yet if I need to. I just don't want it to, the wire to be hanging loose anywhere or be in the way of anything. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll get it connected up and see how it looks. Okay, so I got both sides connected up, or not connected up, but I have the wires on the side of the bags, and I ended up not using any extra ones. I thought I would, But again, I'm going to see how these match up to what's under the seat before I decide if I'm going to put another one on there. And for the adjustment of the strobe, you got this on the back of the instructions, and it tells you that, let's see, 0, 1, 2, and 3 are all for LEDs and incandescent lights, and then 4 through 9 are all LED only. So you can use all these on LED, but only a few of them if you have incandescent lights. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put these bags back on, and then we'll see what light pattern looks the best. I will probably go with number 6. I think that's the that's the default one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can see there's a little arrow pointing to 6. And then I'll just use a little screwdriver to change that and see which one I like best. My extension on this side connected to the module, and then I just ran it down between the fender and the frame here, and it came out right here. So I will decide how much, once I put the bag on here, I'll figure out how much slack I need, then I'll pull the rest in up under here. And then there's also some stock locations here where you can see they have zip tied taillight wires too, so I will zip tie that wire to that as well when I go to tying everything down, and same thing with the other side. So let me get that done and I'll show you what it looks like. So I got them back on the bike and they look good. Now I'm going to turn them on and see how they work. Okay, so the magic strobe is set to its default of number 6, which is a 6-second flash, I believe, and then solid, and the lights are set to sequential. So let me take a look and see how those look. Try the turn signals first. They look good, nice and bright, but I'm just not a fan of the sequential turn signals for some reason. Try the brakes. Six-second flash and then back to solid. And there's hazards. Okay, so you got this little magnet here that you have to put on the light, and it has to be, you have to put it on 10 seconds after the light comes on, so I'm gonna have to turn the bike off and turn it back on. Okay, so within 10 seconds of turning the bike on, put the magnet on top, you see what it's set at normally. Take it off, put it back on to set it where you want it. I guess. There we go. So those should be set to non-sequential now. Let me check that out. I'm not sure that the flash is exactly right. Looks like the custom dynamics light is flashing faster than my turn signal, so I'm not sure I like that either. Okay, so I guess I'm going to leave them on sequential. I don't really like that style, but when I put them on non-sequential, the light starts its flash at the same time as the stock one, but it shuts off quicker, so it's almost like it's not at the same time. So let me do that again and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so you can see that the flash rate's not exactly the same on both. I feel like the custom dynamics lights are starting at the same time as the stock lights, but they're flashing off faster. Maybe it's because they're programmed to do sequential, so they got to flash pretty fast to get those sequences across there. I would rather have it just straight like this, but if it's going to look like it's out of sync, I'm not going to use that. And I may reach out to Custom Dynamics and see if that's normal, or if there's something I'm doing wrong. I don't have anything hooked up backwards. It's all hooked up the way it's supposed to be, so I think it's just the way it's made. So anyway, I guess we're going to go back to sequential and leave it at that for now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go through the rest of these patterns for you just to show you what they all look like. Number 7 is constant blaster pattern, which it just flashes constantly. Number 8 is fast strobe, 4 seconds, then solid. Nine is no pattern. So that's just brake when you do it. Pattern 0, which is 4 flashes then solid. This is one you can use with incandescent lights. Okay, then we'll go to 1, which is 4 flashes, solid for 3 seconds, then repeat. Again, this is one you can use on incandescent lights as well as LEDs. Number 2 is 7 flashes, then solid. Okay, pattern number 3, 7 flashes, then solid for 3 seconds, and then repeat. Number 4 is LED only, and this is quad strobe, then solid for 1 second, and then quad strobe again. Number 5, quad strobe, solid for 1 second, quad strobe, solid for 3 seconds, then repeat. And that's that. Then back to 6, which is what I had it on originally. Overall, these lights look really good on the bike. Even though I'm not a big fan of the sequential, that's what I'm going to leave it on because that's what looks the best. And the red lights actually do match better than what they look on film. I'm not running stock tail lights on here. I've put some replacements on that are smoked, but they are still about the same color red as the stock ones, so they should look just as good with yours if you are currently running your stock Road Glide tail lights. That's all there is to it. That's all the patterns there are. There's 9 variations, actually 10 if you count 0. 10 variations of how you want that flash to work, and I'm going to leave it on 6 because I like that the best. I'm going to tighten my wires, get them all out of the way, put my side panel back on, and button it all up and be done with it. I appreciate you guys stopping by to watch the video. Check out Custom Dynamics lights. I really didn't like the way that flashed, so I'm going to put it on sequential for now, which is not my favorite mode. I may leave these on. I may change them for something else, but we'll see. I like Custom Dynamics stuff, but it is a break from what I normally do. I try to buy stuff cheap on Amazon. I wanted to go with these guys because I know that their stuff is reliable, and I wanted the brightest I could get. So we'll leave them on here for a while, see how they go, but I'm sure they're going to be fine. And I plan on adding some Saddlebag latch lights as well to get some visibility from the side, to make me more visible on the road. Obviously, the more people can see you, the safer you are, so that's what I'm trying to do. I appreciate it again, guys. Thanks for stopping by. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before and you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, leave us a comment down below, let us know what you think. If you're using a different brand other than Custom Dynamics, let me know what you're using. Again, I use a lot of Amazon products on my bike, so I'm not afraid to use some of the aftermarket models that are not quite as popular, maybe with other people, but I've had lots of great luck with that stuff. So drop me a comment down below, let me know what you think. Y'all ride safe, and we will see you on the next one.